Los Angeles Superior Court, County of Los Angeles. People of the State of California versus Joaquin Mayers. Case number BA 508142-01. We, the jury in the above entitled action, find the defendant, Joaquin Mayers, not guilty.
My man jumped straight on to Rihanna. Yo, ASAP Rocky found not guilty. Who? Man, he dodged the bullet. Who? My man was facing 24 years in jail on felony assault charges stemming from 2022 when he allegedly shot at his friend ASAP Relly. And from what I understand, the police, they never found the gun, the so-called gun that he shot. So luckily, they did not find that. But he was saying the whole time, ASAP Rocky, that the gun that he had was just a prop gun that he had on him for his own security, and that he never actually fired a real gun. I don't know what happened. I wasn't there. But I do know a lot of people were like, yo, he needs to take that plea. And I ain't going to lie. I think the plea the prosecution initially gave him was 180 days. And then, that would be it. He would just plead guilty and take 180 days. But, for the reason that we see now, he's found not guilty. He and his lawyers decided to not plead and go ahead and not accept the plea deal and go ahead and take it all the way. So, but had he got convicted, he would have faced 24 years in jail, which would have been devastating. This guy, him and Rihanna obviously are married, very happy. They have 2 kids. So, man, he dodged a real bullet. I'm not saying that he did it, but what I'm saying is that most people who've been talking about this the last at least the last year or so, have been saying that, it didn't look good, and they were saying he needs to accept the plea. So good thing that he got off on this. So it's a good moment for him. Listen, man, if you were facing 24 years, if I was facing that, I would have jumped onto my wife too. Long distance.
Hold down. Verdict has to be read. Yes, sir. Repeat again. We, the jury, above entitled action, find the defendant, Joaquin Mayers, not guilty of semi-automatic firearm in violation of Penal Code Section 245, Section B, a felony charging count 1 of the information this 18th day of February 2025, jury seat number 9, 4 person. All right. Title for the cause. We, the jury, in the above entitled action, find the defendant, Joaquin Mayers, not guilty of the crime of firearm in violation of Penal Code Section 245, Section B, a felony of charging count 2 of the information this 18th day of February 2025, juror seat number 9, 4 person. During this trial,
Bro, listen, I'll be honest with you. It's a very gutsy thing for him. Yeah, it's a very gutsy thing. I don't know. I mean, because the deal they offered him was 180 days in prison, right? So, let's just put that in perspective. 180 days in prison is 365 days in a year. 180 days, it's like 6 months in prison, right? So we're talking about, yeah, I mean, that's very gutsy. I'll give it to him. I don't know if I would have took it all the way. I don't know if I would have took it all the way to trial or all the way to the end like that, because 180 days when you have kids, you know what I mean? Like, that's 6 months, that'll go by really quick. He would have got out in good behavior, been out in 4 months, and had he got convicted, he probably wouldn't have got 24 years. I don't think the judge would have gave him that, but who knows? The judge could have gave him 12 years, whatever, 10 years. It's still a long ass time compared to 6 months. So, but again, this is America. When you are adamant about your not, about not being guilty about something, and you want to take it all the way, that's what America's about. You're judged by 12, and that's the way it is. So, thank God for him. But him and ASAP really apparently got into some argument back in 2022. And again, a lot of times I don't know what happened that night. I'm not saying that he did it or didn't do it. I don't know, but he was found not guilty. But a lot of times, as men, when we are grown men, arguments can turn into things that can completely destroy our lives. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of man, listen, once you get a lot of money like that, I wouldn't be trying to have no altercations. Honestly, as a grown man, I'm not trying to have altercations, period. I'm really not. Unless you're threatening my family or something like that, that I'll die for any day, any time of the week. No problem. I'll go up against anybody for that. But little arguments and little beefs like that, it just turns into a situation where, you got to imagine, you're high profile. He was famous before, but he was even more famous when he got with Rihanna. And if you get into any type of altercation, there are prosecutors who want to put you in jail, and it's high profile. It helps prosecutors anytime they're going to put somebody away who's famous. So again, I think this was a great lesson to learn. And he really did dodge a bullet because he was facing some long prison time. For a young man to be locked up for 12 years, 15 years, the maximum 24 years. A$AP Rocky's only 36 years old. 24 years is devastating to be in jail, So, man, thank God he's free. And like I said, I would have jumped in Rihanna's arms too. So
I watched you periodically. You did what we asked of you at the very beginning, which is to give both sides a fair trial, pay attention, use your common sense, apply the law, base your verdict on the evidence. I know you took extensive notes, and you took this as seriously as any jury could. We cannot have jury trials without folks like you. So you certainly have my gratitude. I want to extend to you my best wishes. Again, thank you.
Man, God bless him, man. I would have took the 6 months. I ain't gonna lie to you. That stress of being possibly convicted and facing 24 years, man, I don't know how you sleep. I don't know how he ate the last, however long this trial was, but I would have been stressed out every day. That would have been a tough thing for me, and I'd have took that plea. But listen, man, give him his credit. He stood by his innocence, and he got off. And listen, there will never be an altercation, an argument to even be had in person no more. Just text this person, have somebody go talk to that person, but don't have no more for the rest of his life. If I'm him, I ain't trying to have an altercation with anybody ever, or even an argument. You know what I mean? So big ups to A$AP Rocky.
Admonition to not discuss the case no longer applies. You can talk about the case with anybody you want to, or nobody if you don't want to. Alex has your certificates of completion. You can take your juror badges with you. Thank you again. You are excused.